Crypto play-to-earn gaming is going to be huge. Illuvium wants to be a big part of that. Let's take a look at the crypto gaming project called Illuvium. Hey everybody, welcome to the Crypto Masters podcast, helping the general public master an understanding of crypto assets. My name is Brian.
And my name is Ross.
And we are
the Crypto Masters.
All right, today we are going to talk about another gaming project, which is very exciting. But first we want to say, remember, the Crypto Masters are long-term investors, so this is not short-term or trading advice.
And as always, we like to tell you we are not financial advisors, and this show should not be meant as financial advice. But
That's right.
I think we got all the housekeeping items out of the way, Brian.
Let's jump into
Let's get it.
Because everybody knows, if they've listened to the podcast or watched the YouTube, that we are excited about crypto play-to-earn gaming.
Oh, yeah.
And Illuvium wants to be the first blockchain-based AAA game that has high-fidelity graphics and addictive gameplay. So in the gaming industry, Ross, as you know, a AAA game is one with the highest level of quality and graphics and gameplay. And some gamers argue that there's not yet been a crypto play-to-earn game to reach that quality level. But they're saying maybe Illuvium will be the first.
Yeah, Illuvium's got that chance, and, having a AAA-rated game is something we've kind of talked about or touched on before. But, what is Illuvium? Illuvium is a decentralized NFT collection and a battle game built on the Ethereum network and is integrated with hyper-scalable Immutable X Layer 2 solution. And so, Immutable X allows the players of Illuvium to have zero gas fees for minting or exchanging assets, as well as super fast transaction times. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
No, it's a big deal. The Layer 2 aspect of it is going to be really nice.
Yeah, and, we've seen Layer 2 before. Classic example for scalability in the blockchain space.
Yeah, and affordable fees. You don't have all the gas. Yeah.
Exactly. As a blockchain game, Illuvium allows the users to maintain custody of his or her assets, including tokens and NFTs. And the goal of Illuvium is really to make a collectible NFT game that is open, transparent, and governed by the community.
All right, let's touch on gameplay. All right, so Illuvium is a MMORPG game. As you know, a massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
RPG, it's a classic, Brian.
It's an classic RPG, but it's an MMORPG.
Yeah.
That also, in this case, because it's blockchain, utilizes NFTs. So that's pretty cool. I mean, there's MMORPGs out there, have been for years in the gaming world, but now this is one in the blockchain world. And of course, as we talked about before, you can get the benefit of owning NFTs in a blockchain game, which you can't get otherwise.
Exactly, yeah.
So in the gameplay, players can explore. It's a fantasy world with various regions where alluvials, which are kind of like, monsters or creatures, they dwell, and the player tries to capture them to form a team to then fight. And the setting for the game is a type of spaceship wreck. That's kind of the backstory. Mm-hmm. It's like a spaceship wreck that strands the player on a shattered world with a treacherous terrain that is locked on all sides by crystallized oceans. So you got to have the backstory.
Oh, yeah.
To me, so there's a lot of similarities to Pokemon and card and deck battles, but also with this, adventure world, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So the game is not yet live as of the date of this podcast, but there has been a limited beta version that's been active for several months, and it's on PC only. A potential beta tester must apply for the beta, but as I understand it, the chances of being selected are not very high. I was going to go through the application process, but I haven't.
Yeah, Brian, I was about to butt in there. You can apply, but good luck.
Yeah.
Not high chances of getting that elusive beta tester. But the gameplay has also involves quests to acquire in-game items and capture creatures, as you mentioned before, known as alluvials. But all in-game collectibles are NFTs, like you've previously mentioned, that can be stored in a wallet and have a real value to the player. Unlike any other kind of multiplayer game we've seen before. That's kind of what
you can buy the
crypto
skin.
gaming.
You can buy the skin, but you don't really own it. You can't do it. You can't take it with it. You can't sell it.
When people stop playing the game, it's stuck in there, and this is the beauty of crypto gaming, folks. But each of the alluvials has its own set of affinities and characteristics, which each either complement or clash with one another depending on how they are employed in the game. But players will need to use combinations of alluvials to defeat the other team's alluvials squad and win the match. And these are just some of the examples of the alluvials that you can pick during the game or that are involved in the game. There's a fighter, a rogue, a guardian, and then Illuvium classes include water, fire, nature, earth, and air. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, kind of like that Avatar show, the Last Airbender type deal.
We have seen that kind of thing before.
Yeah, it's pretty common. But and yeah, there can also be a fusion of alluvials, so that two alluvials of different classes and affinities can be coupled to develop a different alluvial with different strengths.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sure once this game comes out, there's going to be some people like if you combine these two, they're super powerful against X, Y, Z, all that stuff. But
it sort of adds another layer, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of that strategy aspect. It's not just mindless playing. But yeah, players will mint new alluvials as NFTs, of course, and that's just the beauty of blockchain gaming, folks.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we've talked about, I mentioned a little bit about the backstory where you're on this planet and then you kind of roam around. So in addition to the adventuring where the players do that, they explore the world and capture the alluvials, there will be battle arenas. And in battle arenas, alluvials or players can fight each other in battles, and then they can level up their skills by using their weapons and their armor to increase their chances of winning. The player has a deck at the bottom of the screen. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And choose, you can choose your available alluvials that you want to battle. And of course, those are based on the strengths and characteristics of your team, your deck. But you can also then see your opponent's strengths and characteristics and classes, and based on that, you sort of choose the ones that you think will have the best chance. And so this will be familiar to those who've played deck battle games like Pokemon. Mm-hmm. But after the cards are selected, the animated alluvials of the card actually enter into the arena and engage in the battle against opposing alluvials. And we'll show some of that on here, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Another interesting aspect of this, though, Ross, is that other players can actually place bets on the matches.
Oh, yeah. As a guy that just returned from Vegas, Brian, I like that aspect. I like it a lot.
Well, I have, my good friend Monica she and her husband are very much into Pokemon card battles. And I know a little bit about that based on what, I've seen her do. And it seems to me that this has an aspect of that. So we're going to get to this, but it's not, like you said, it's in beta. The live version hasn't been released yet. But there have been some videos released that have actually shown the battle aspect of it, sort of in real time. Uh-huh. So that to me reminds me of, because it's also an auto battle, which means that you pick your cards and then they just play based on those strengths. You're not actually pressing buttons or doing anything. They're just doing it based on their own strengths and characteristics.
Yeah, and one thing we'll include in the description of this video, or the podcast, if you listen to the podcast, is the two founders recently just had a battle of them on their own where they wagered $1 million and went head to head. So if you want to check that out, check out the link in the description.
Right, and so that was something that really shows what the battle aspect is going to look like. And so we'll have that going back here. And that might look familiar. I mean, it looks a little bit familiar to was it Pokemon Pokemon Arena, Pokemon Stadium?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for like the 64 or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that,
I think maybe on those, the player actually maybe controlled him or whatever. But this, it looks like really what you're doing is strategically selecting your cards.
Yeah.
And then based on that, boom, they go on to the arena, as you can see back here, and they actually do the battle. You're not doing anything. You're just letting your card selections play it out. Which is interesting. What's not, so that's a part of it that I think we get a really good idea of what it's going to look like. The other part of the game that we talked about, the adventuring, there hasn't been that much released on that. Now, you're going to show, we're going to put back here the demo, which is a trailer.
Oh yeah, I'll show the trailer. Yeah,
so,
it's
yeah.
more of a marketing thing. I
Yeah,
would say,
and
it's
you've
not
all
what it
seen
looked
trailers
like,
for
but-
all these games, right? And it's not necessarily what the game looks like. It could just be part of the story. But so there's, to me, at least as far as I can tell, a little bit of mystery about what the adventuring part of it is going to look like, other than what you see on that little 3-minute trailer.
Yeah, and right now, we've seen the battle aspect of the game, and that's what I'm really excited about. But I'm also curious as to this adventure stage. I'm a very competitive person, but all this trailer and hype around the adventure could be pretty epic.
Right,
So,
and it kind of looks to me, and from what I've seen, with other people commenting and analyzing this, it looks like on the adventuring / capture phase. So you try to capture one, and a lot of people come to mind, Pokemon, where you throw the Pokeball and
oh
capture
yeah,
them. But this looks to be a little bit like, I understand some people are guessing or assuming that there's a skill element maybe to in the demo. It shows her shooting a gun type thing, but then it launches things that looks like they try to capture. But then some other parts of the demo were analyzed, and it looks like if you do capture them, you teleport to the battle arena.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So that
very
may
much
be,
like Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah. So then in the battle arena is when you actually battle to actually capture that particular alluvial.
Yeah, kind of weaken it, and then you got it, or
and
something
depending
like that.
on what you have in your deck, I guess already, whether you can defeat that alluvial and capture it or not. But then I think there's another aspect, like we saw on the founders in their battle. There may be a separate battle aspect where you can battle others outside of just the capture, but I don't know. There's a little bit of mystery, I think, from that.
Yeah, and of course this is speculation at this point, what various features and stuff are going to be in it, but I don't know. I feel fairly confident that that's going to be a pretty real aspect of it.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Yeah,
I
we're in
mean,
beta,
it really seems to have two aspects to it. The adventuring, which in itself is fun, and a lot of games that's the main part of it, right? But then this also has the deck battle aspect, which again, games are dedicated to deck battle, so it's kind of a combination of the two, which is pretty interesting. And I mean, and to be honest, to me, it seems a lot like Pokemon, but maybe with some other layers added to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm, the extra layers and features, which they keep hinting at, we're not sure yet. That's what's really got me excited.
And we'll get into maybe some more of that later. Let's jump into the tokens. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for Illuvium, there are two types of tokens in the game, and that's the ILV and the sILV. So the ILV is the native token for Illuvium, and it's used for governance, voting, staking. The ILV token holders can also stake in the protocol to receive their portion of in-game revenues. And
which is pretty big. I mean, the staking is already live. It's already.
Oh yeah, you can go.
Yeah, you can stake on
right
Illuvium even though the game hasn't been released in live mode yet.
Oh yeah, there's been some. We'll get into this a little bit later, but there's been some price action for a while there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second token is the synthetic token, the sILV, the synthetic ILV token, used as in-game currency for things like enhancements, skins. Emotes, like you get you defeat someone, you do a little cocky little dance or something like that. So, but yeah, it can be earned by staking ILV token in the protocol. So that's a little bit of that.
Yeah, you stake your ILV and you get sILV. Which I think is fairly common for the games that we've talked about. They all have sort of the governance token, which is more than governance, but I mean, it is governance. In this case, it's governance, and staking for the ILV. And then you have the in-game token, which in this case is the sILV. So
yeah.
All right, let's talk about the tokenomics, because I always talk about tokenomics.
The tokenomics guy right here.
All right, so the maximum supply of ILV is 10 million, which is actually not that many. It doesn't really matter, but a lot of games have the billions or whatever.
Oh, they have tons, yeah.
Yeah. So 10 million with 7 million already outstanding. So there were 2 seed rounds in this project early on where 2 million of the ILV were sold. And then the team received 1.5 million ILV. So that's 3.5 million in the early seed rounds, which is probably some venture capital. And then the team got 1.5 million. There was a public sale where it sold 1 million through a launch pad. So then the remaining 4 million, so that gets you to let's see. So it was 2 seed rounds with 2 million and 1.5, so that's 3.5.
Yeah.
And then another million through Launchpad, so 4.5. And so then the balance will be used then for yield farming, which is normal. You have to have some back for that. For the staking, the in-game rewards.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of the gaming tokens, there were a lot of these early sold in the seed rounds and distributed to the team. So, overall, not that much was made available to the public, but like we've seen before in the gaming guilds and the crypto gaming, this seems to be fairly common for the tokenomics of the gaming tokens to look like this.
Yeah. It's nothing like crazy out of the ordinary. Maybe for a normal project.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it if it was a regular.
That would be
project.
not good. Yeah, but there's more involved. Maybe I'll get in a little more in final thoughts here, but
Okay.
But yeah, if you're wondering where you can get the ILV token, you can purchase it on Uniswap, Binance, Crypto.com, Gate.io, and many other exchanges. Really, so
yeah, it's out
pretty easy and common to get your hands on this one.
Yep.
So, want to go over the brief history. The token was launched back in April of 2021, and on December 31st of the same year, Illuvium's official Discord channel got phished when attackers directed users to a website claiming to be Illuvium's NFT platform, causing a whopping $150,000 in losses, which I say whopping kind of sarcastically.
Yeah,
that's not that crazy.
Not that much for hacks, but the fact that it got hacked wouldn't
yeah, exactly.
Or not hacked, phished, I guess.
Yeah, phished, which, that's, I would say, just kind of a nature of a Discord, really. But,
yeah.
So something they got to watch out for.
Be cautious.
Exactly, yeah. But 1 week later, the Illuvium team discovered a vulnerability in Illuvium staking contracts, which allowed hackers to mint an unlimited amount of sILV.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, also not good. But not surprisingly, this hack combined with a delay in the roadmap goals caused the price to correct. And, we're talking the ILV was really gaining some traction and reached as high. I think it got over 1,900 around December 30th. Yeah, December 30th in 2021. But yeah, that, all this combination of things caused it to dip under 500 after the, attacks or the hacks and delays. According to the roadmap on the website, the private beta was launched in the first quarter of 2022. And the public beta will be launched in the second quarter of 2022. And, although it's not clear when the game will go live, as we've seen with pretty much any software project, the project had announced that detailed and updated project timelines will be released soon.
Yeah.
So included in that, will be when the land sales will start. Obviously you can buy land in the game, but
yeah, I saw an official announcement from the team that we're gonna do this. We're gonna put our timelines out there, and we're gonna update it daily or regularly. So we're looking for that. I haven't seen, as of the day of this podcast, I haven't seen that yet, but they've said it's coming.
Yeah.
All right, so let me talk about the team. We always mention the team. So Illuvium has been in development since 2020, and the co-founders are brothers, Kieran Warwick and Aaron Warwick. Kieran is a serial entrepreneur and an early cryptocurrency adopter, and Aaron is an experienced game designer. And even yet another brother named Grant is involved in the Illuvium project. I think he's the art designer.
Another brother.
Yeah. So wait a minute. Not all. That's not all. If the name sounds familiar, it's because yet another brother, Kane Warwick, is the co-founder of DeFi platform Synthetics. So these brothers are extremely active. Now, it's not just the brothers on Illuvium. There is a team of, I've seen different figures, but like 70, people working on that project. And, you'll see from the graphics, it's high-end stuff. So yeah, there's a big team working on it. But those are the founders, and they are experienced in the industry. So that sort of looks good.
Oh yeah, that is a big crypto family, I have to say, Brian.
Yeah.
Big crypto
Good for
involvement
them.
in that area. Yeah,
I think
right on.
They're Australian.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Oi, oi, oi. So, guys, this is a part that I'm going to do a kind of like a mock price prediction for Illuvium.
Price prediction.
Yeah, and we're not always the fan of price predictions because we never want anyone to kind of ride or die by a price prediction, because just as we've seen with Illuvium, anything can happen, and hacks can happen. So take this with a grain of salt.
As we've seen in everything, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So
that's another topic.
That's my tee up. But if, I'm going to show this back behind us here. If you go to our website, thecryptomasters.com/price@market-cap, you can use this tool for any other project.
They just went to thecryptomasters.com. There's a tab where there's crypto tools, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a tab for crypto tools.
And then price at market cap, yeah.
Yeah, so you can find it here. So the basis here is that if Illuvium, or the basis of my price prediction is that if Illuvium is going to be this AAA rated game, which, I truly believe that could be the case here, then I'm going to use Axie Infinity's success kind of as a gauge. So if Illuvium's going to be this AAA rated game, it's at least going to be as successful as Axie Infinity.
So if it would eventually get to the market cap of Axie Infinity right now, that's what they're going to show you using our price tool.
Up behind us here.
Price at market cap tool.
Then I would predict that Illuvium could see a 12x growth from here. At least. That. Right. So if
did you hit calculate? Hit calculate.
Oh yeah. Hit calculate again. So yeah.
So it's 12x.
12x. That would put at almost $8,000 US.
And right now it's about $650, isn't it?
Yep, it is at $650.
You go to the Crypto Masters, Crypto Tools, and you can just check the price. What is the price?
Yeah, right now the price is at $650 US.
Right on.
So that.
Wow. So it would go then when you do the market cap of Axie Infinity. What was it?
It would go to almost $8,000.
Wow,
so
$8,000.
yeah.
Wow.
So. And I could really see it if it's going to be a AAA game, with the graphics, with the gameplay, with the features it's got, which would have more than Axie Infinity. I really could see it going upwards of 8K. And that's a rough price prediction,
right,
but yeah.
Right. And just for me, it seems, it would be a game that I would be more interested in, I think, than Axie Infinity.
Yeah,
we don't know yet, but from what I've seen and what they've shown, I think I would be more interested in it. And I think a lot of people would be.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, Ross, what do you think? Time for final thoughts?
Yeah, we're kind of diving right into it already. So you keep going, Brian.
Take
this momentum and go.
So Illuvium, and first of all, I've said this before, but in case you haven't watched our other podcasts or videos, I'm a big believer in crypto play to earn gaming, or play and earn gaming, because if they're fun enough, you're going to play it anyway. But hey, if you're going to earn a little bit, cool, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Can't miss. We've talked about that before, but I just want to start that with the premise that this is going to be huge. The crypto play to earn gaming is going to be huge. So for Illuvium itself, everything looks great. There's a bit of mystery, I guess, you know what I mean, because they haven't released a whole lot. Although the recent stuff that we've seen with the actual battles, I think that gives you a good idea what that aspect's going to be. The other part of the game, like we said, we don't really know that much about. So the big criticisms, really, of the game, of the project, are one is, as I've said, the tokenomics aren't good, but again, maybe not that out of the ordinary for this section of the market. But then the delays, and I mean, we've seen this before, and other crypto projects have been criticized for their delays. But they were saying this game was going to come out in 2021, and here we are, and we're in Q2 of 2022, and it's still not released, and don't really know when yet. But to some extent, you got to understand that is, like you said, the nature of software. It often takes longer, and they can give some ambitious predictions which don't come true. But sure. I mean, I guess for my final thoughts is, I think the crypto gaming sector is going to be so big, and it looks like this is going to be a big part of that, being the first AAA game. So with that in mind, I would say, I have high hopes for this project. I hope the team delivers, and if they do, I think I give it a big thumbs up.
Right on, Brian. I mean, I'm totally with you here. We're both very high on crypto gaming. I mean, that target market of gamers can easily, pick up and learn that various aspects of, buying these tokens, putting it on a wallet, and, integrating that in the game. So I think the target market is there. And just like you've said, if you could go back and play, Donkey Kong and earn some money, I mean, who wouldn't do that? As a kid, I would be on there all the time, and it wouldn't have been a total waste of your time, but, obviously it's entertaining and fun. But one point I wanted to make is that, I think if we're going to have truly a AAA rated game in crypto, in the crypto gaming, that is, I think we might see tokenomics similar to this, and honestly, maybe even worse. I'm kind of putting worse in italics, but the team has to get paid more. I think if we're going to really scale and see graphics like this, we showed it before behind us, but Illuvium's graphics look awesome. The gameplay looks so sweet. And I'm very excited. This might be, one of the games I really pick up and try. So,
well, that is a good point. I guess, to be fair, for my tokenomics criticism, if we want games that are going to be as good as the commercialized games, we might have to tolerate this seed money, venture capital investment, because we want a really good game, and that's what it takes.
Oh yeah, if we're gonna,
good point.
Yeah, if blockchain gaming is going to compete with the Fortnites, the Call of Duties of the world, the Halos, I don't want to leave out my Halo peeps here, but I think we've just got to give more time, more money to the team, and really have an epic project. So.
Yeah. Well, and one more thing I just want to add is I think a lot of this, from what we can tell, it will be familiar to a lot of gamers. A lot of them will be familiar with the card play aspect, with the various attributes and classes, which, again, I think a lot of people are familiar with that from the Pokemon games. The adventuring part, there's a lot of games with that. So I think gamers are not going to have a big learning curve for this. And so that may, help with early adoption of the game. I think we're going to see that.
Yeah, exactly. And this is, MMO RPG is nothing new to, the gamers of the world out there. And I guess one more point I wanted to make is, if they can hurry this up, that would be great. Not just because delivering something like this earlier is better, but, and we'll get into this in Brews and Blockchain coming up soon, but there was a recent Axie Infinity Ronin wallet hack, which we'll describe more in depth in Brews and Blockchain, but this would be
an opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. A huge opportunity to time this out. And, I'm not saying people are going to jump ship from Axie Infinity because of this, but it's a little chink in the Axie Infinity armor, and Illuvium would be, a game I would jump to if I was an Axie Infinity head. So that's just me.
All right, man. Well, hey, this has been another episode of the Crypto Masters. Tune in next time. Look for us also on Brews and Blockchain and social media.
Yeah, guys, like and comment, subscribe below. We've got our socials below. Check out thecryptomasters.com for all the tools we showed. And stay tuned next week.
Thanks, everybody.